Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown 205 Live results for this week of November the 15th. Birthdays for this week. NXT Cruiserweight Champion Leo Rush. On the 11th, Leo Rush turned 25 years old. While Hall of Famer and AEW trainer Billy Gunn turned 56. And former WWE and TNA star Crystal Marshall turned 36. The 12th birthdays, former WCW champion Disco Inferno turned 52, while former WWE star Lena Yata turned 41, and former ECW star Elektra turned 49. Also would have been the 40th birthday of WWE Tough Enough winner Matt Capitelli. November 13th birthdays, Hiroshi Tanahashi, he was born 1976, Sarah Del Rey, 1980, Sunil Singh, who is currently one of the Singh brothers, is currently your 24/7 champion. He was born 1984. Birthdays on the 14th, La Parka, 1965. Albert, 1972. Callisto, 1986. And November 15th birthdays. Chicken Knox turned 25 years old. Also, would have been the 67th birthday of none other than Macho Man. Ooh, yeah, dig it. My tribute to the Macho Man himself. Mandy Rose and Tony DeVille were joined by UFC legend George St. Pierre for the latest episode of Damandys Donuts. This link was filmed at the recent 2019 Mr. Olympia convention in Las Vegas. NXT North American Champion Roger Strong versus U.S. Champion AJ Styles versus Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura in a non-title triple threat is now official for Survivor Series pay-per-view in less than 2 weeks away. Styles took to Twitter this morning on Friday and commented on the match, saying it will be the match of the night. An undisputedly phenomenal showcase of Strong Styles. Y'all want to know what match to watch at hashtag Survivor Series? Bet on hashtag Raw. Bet on me. Bet on hashtag DOC. Hashtag Mother Loving. Match of the night. As Styles wrote. This week's taped WWE Raw from Manchester, England saw Eric Owen, squash enhancement talent, Sonya Durson, as seen at this link. Durson is a UK indie wrestler that has wrestled for several promotions, including Progress Wrestling and Future Shock Wrestling, among others. On a related note, Rowan is doing some sort of new gimmick where he's carrying around a mystery item. The announcers noted on Raw that it looked like something was moving under the cloth. You can also see it in that link. Aleister Black has been dealing with a knee injury and is currently out of action, thus doing somebody wants to fight gimmicks backstage segments. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, no timetable for his return, but the injury was described as a tweak. Black defeated Eric Young back on the October 14th WWE Draft Edition of Raw. When he was drafted to the Red Brand, he then worked the WWE Super Show live event on October 19th in Trenton, defeating Cesaro, and then October 20th Super Show in Rochester, defeating King Corbin. He squashed enhancement talent Jason Reynolds on October 21st Raw, but has not wrestled since then. Black did appear for a backstage visit on October 28th Raw, but did not wrestle that night. Black had been advertised to face Dolph Ziggler at the October 23rd live event in Australia, but he did not work the tour. In other WWE injury news, the Observer reports that Sami Zayn has been having problems with his shoulders in recent months, and that is why he's been wrestling less and less. It was put with Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura as his mouthpiece. No word yet on when Sami will return to action, but word right now he's okay and can wrestle, but the current role is what they have him doing. Zayn has worked some live events since being put with Nakamura, including losses to Buddy Murphy while WWE was in Australia last month, but he hasn't wrestled regularly on TV since August, when he took losses on Raw to Samoa Joe and Cedric Alexander, thanks to the source of Wrestling Observer newsletter. WWE NXT superstar Catalina Garcia made her main roster debut Carolina on the October 28th episode of Raw, teaming up alongside Sin Cara. The two feuded with Andrade and Zelina Vega over the next couple of weeks. On the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, it was reported that Carolina is already gone from the Raw brand. She was not with Sin Cara at the latest Raw tapings in Manchester, England. Carolina apparently was brought in to work with Zelina Vega. Andrade and Vega defeated Sin Cara and Carolina in a mixed tag on last Monday's Raw. Dave Meltzer reported that with that feud over, Carolina is now no longer needed on the main roster, but will still be working NXT. And if you caught the matches from NXT this week, she did work not under her mask on. Raw superstar Sin Cara took to Twitter and announced that he requested his WWE release. Word going around WWE is that Sin Cara has 3 years left on his contract, according to PW Insider. No word yet on if WWE will grant the request. Also said that Sin Cara, who is close with Alvaro El Patron, is interested in going to work for Combat America's MMA promotion, which features several pro wrestlers. Alberto is also affiliated with the promotion. On a related note, Andrade, who has been feuding with Sin Cara on WWE TV as of late, took to Twitter after the release statement and taunted Sin Cara. Google provides a rough translation, but as seen below, Andrade taunted Sin Cara for running away and giving up on WWE. El Idolo Andrade. At Andrade, CN WWE. No pude retirar a remisterio para seque Sin Cara. Cora. Say retire o renunci. Ja. Hashtag Andrade. The new hashtag face of Latino. Bye. Carlito, Primo, and eipco are set to do battle for the first time ever against themselves in a triple threat match later this month in Bayamon, Puerto Rico. Family members will face off for WWC Universal title on Saturday, November 23rd at WWC's Night of Champions event. The title is currently held by eipco. He won the title back on August 17th during day 2 of the WWC 46th anniversary event. eipco defeated Gilbert to begin his first reign with the title that night. WWC, also known as World Wrestling Council, was founded by several legends, including WWE Hall of Famer Carlos Colon, father to Carlito and Primo, uncle to eipco. WWE often allows Primo and eipco to work for WWC when they aren't being used on Raw or SmackDown. Primo and eipco are currently members of the SmackDown roster, but have made just a few appearances since Primo suffered a knee injury in 2017, which put him out for almost a year. eipco worked some while Primo was out of action, but former WWE Tag Team Champions have made just a few insignificant appearances since then. They lost a SmackDown Dark match to Heavy Machinery back on January 8th of this year. Last appearance. Regarding Triple Threat on November 23rd, the match was originally scheduled to be eipco defending against Primo, but the match was changed after WWC TV featured a segment which saw Carlito asked to be put in the match. Our friends at pther Wrestling.com noted that ever since eipco won the Universal title, Primo and eipco have had trust issues. Carlito wants to be part of the match to take the toys out of them until they mature. Noted recently, Savio Vega revealed that WWE recently tried to bring back Carlito, and the Colones are expected to finish up with their current WWE contracts this year. No word yet on if WWE will try to resign them. WWE star Cesaro was recently interviewed by Sportskeeda, where the former U.S. and Tag Champion discussed the We the People chant that was made popular during his Real Americans run with Jack Swagger, formerly now known as Jake Hager in AEW. Back in 2014, AEW World Champion Chris Jericho attempted to bury the catchphrase during the episode of Dynamite, calling it a stupid decision by creative. Cesaro states that the phrase was our idea and still over. I was lucky to be in some very great tag teams with people I've gotten along with tremendously well. Jack Swagger, Tyson Kidd, and Sheamus. We, the people, by the way, was our idea, and it's still over. Later, the Swiss Superman talked about his former bar teammate, Sheamus, whether or not the two will team up again in the future. It's great. Being a part of a tag team is a different challenge than obviously having success as singles. I'm really stubborn about trying to be successful as a singles wrestler, so that's what I'm focusing on right now. I still talk to Sheamus pretty much every day, giving each other crap, just like you saw on TV. Hall of Famer Steve Austin teasing a kick butt announcement to be made real soon. Update as Austin confirmed his WWE interview series at the first guest. And a new report also took to Twitter and made the big announcement tease on Sunday, including a screenshot what may be an interview on his Broken Skull bar set. He wrote, bottom line, kick butt announcement coming real soon. Hashtag hell yeah. No word yet on if this teaser is for the return of Austin's WWE Network podcast, but it's likely. As noted earlier, the relaunch of the Stone Cold podcast on the WWE Network is scheduled to feature The Undertaker as its first guest. It was also noted that Steve Austin Broken Skull Sessions will be the new name of the podcast. Shane McMahon and John Cena had a Twitter exchange after Shane commented on seeing Cena's new Playing with Fire movie while on his forced vacation from the WWE storylines. Shane wrote, being unemployed does have some advantages. One of the things I like to do is go to the movies. I recommend this one at Playing with Fire at John Cena. Cena responded, glad you're enjoying the mandatory vacation. Winking face emoji. Shane O, hope you enjoyed the flick. Shane was forced to quit after losing in the recent ladder match to Kevin Owens. No word yet on what WWE has planned for his future. As the storyline was, fired from WWE, period. Post-Raw edition of Table for Three on the WWE Network featuring John Laurinaitis. People power! Bruce Pritchard, Brother Love, and Shane McMahon. A clip here for the 30-minute mealing and dealing episode with a discussion on the night. WCW, the roster, was informed that their company was being bought by WWE. The WWE on Fox Twitter account has announced that former NXT and U.S. champion will be appearing on this week's episode of WWE Backstage along with host Renee Young and Booker T. Joe has been out of action since early October with a broken thumb. He is still waiting to be cleared by WWE medical team. And that's Samoa Joe. AEW World Champion Chris Jericho was joined by a former WWE writer and the founder of MLW, Court Bauer. At this link, just ahead of MLW Saturday Night Super Fight, as Bauer talks about working on the Umaga character in WWE. Conversation turned into a memorable Battle of the Billionaires hair versus hair match at WrestleMania 23 between the then WWE Intercontinental Champion Umaga with WWE Chairman Mr. McMahon by his side, and then ECW World Heavyweight Champion Bobby Lashley with the notorious President of the United States, Donald Trump, in his corner. When Bauer reflected back on his time with WWE, he noted that his favorite work with the sports entertainment juggernaut was developing the Umaga character. Becky and I got on the phone, and we just figured out the Umaga character, kind of tipping our hat towards the past, but very forward, future-centered, and that, to me, was probably the highlight. Bauer continued he was just an awesome guy. It was awesome to see him break out. And what a big first splash with Ric Flair. And he did stuff with John Cena. And we needed a big main event attraction. Also was involved with creating the other monsters like the Great Khali and guys like that. According to Jericho, McMahon was very upset from Umaga's untimely passing as McMahon tried to get the former member of the 3-minute wanting to go to drug rehab. I vividly remember when Umaga passed away, Jericho said. We were in Saudi Arabia, not Saudi Arabia, not Saudi Arabia. Sorry, Iraq, doing the tribute to the troops. And I remember how legit sad Vince was about it because at the time, I think they had let Umaga go because he wouldn't go to rehab. And I remember Vince really saying, like I tried, I did not want this to happen. I couldn't do anything. Like if you're not going to do it on your own, there's nothing we can do. But he was like legit torn up about it because I think Eki, in the man's mind, had so much more he could have done if he had fallen into those traps that happened to so many of the brothers over the years. During the interview, Bauer said that the Battle of the Billionaires was originally supposed to be to feature Umaga taking on Lucha legend Rey Mysterio. But that idea was nixed on the grounds that Trump would pick someone big and strong rather than the diminutive Mysterio. Originally, it was supposed to be, instead of Bobby Lashley, we had Rey Mysterio in there, and then he thought was imitating McMahon. Well, why would Donald pick him? He'd want someone bigger, Bauer continued, and that's why Bobby got it. And unfortunately, Ray didn't get the big WrestleMania payday. Bauer mentioned that Trump probably learned a lot from professional wrestling that prepared him for his political run. It was interesting to work with Trump because the crowds were kind of hostile towards him to the point where I remember that we would have money fall from the ceiling once as a babyface move to get the crowd behind him and stuff. He never sold it if they were hostile because I think wrestling fans, it was political at the time. He was just a reality TV guy from The Apprentice who was cross-promoting the NBC properties. And I think more or less, I think the fans were just like, we want to see wrestling. We don't want to have a 20-minute promo from this guy. And I think that's what they were rejecting at the moment. But I think it kind of groomed him for political aspirations because it's the same thing as pro wrestling. You're just trying to take the fan base and whip them into a frenzy and convert them into buying tickets. He's just trying to convert them into voters here. And you got to do your catchphrases and ways to heal on your opponent. Bauer explained. Same thing here. So you look back and it's like, this was probably his breeding ground to do something else similar, like a lot of people from wrestling get into politics, whether it's here or Japan. Jericho then shared that McMahon once told Le Champion that McMahon sparked up a joint during an event with Trump at a Trump property, and Trump tried to make him put it out. If you're not familiar with drugs, a joint is marijuana. Yeah, McMahon tried to smoke it. Don't know if he did, but I remember one time Vince told me that they were watching some concert or something at Trump, New Jersey, whatever it was called, whatever the arena was called, Trump Arena, and Vince was sitting there with Linda, Donald, and all the heads of state. And Vince lit up a joint, and Trump was like, "You can't smoke that joint in here." And Vince goes, "I just did." Bauer told a funny story of McMahon being very upset when Trump pointed out that McMahon's jet was smaller than Trump's own. It's interesting to see Vince-Donald dynamic and just seeing the measuring kind of going on. Bauer recalled Vince was right next to Donald's limo, and Donald, his window goes down. Vince goes, he wants to say something. Open our window. And Trump goes to Vince, "Hey Vince, your jet looks a little smaller than mine. If you guys are going to be squished, I would definitely get a few of your guys in mine. Mine's a lot bigger, obviously." And Vince goes, "Ha ha ha. No, we're fine. Have a great trip home." The window closes and he starts turning purple. He's like, that son of a beat. He got so hot over that, it truly was a battle of the billionaires. The Infinite Energy Center in Duluth, Georgia has announced several matches for 2019 Starrcade live event, which will take place Sunday, December 1st. Your pay-per-view event for December. Spoiler alert, close your ears because you're about to hear advertised matches for possible championship matches. But the event will be headlined by The Miz versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, steel cage match. WWE has not confirmed which matches will air during the 1 hour WWE Network special, which begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time that night. So it's only an hour special. But tickets for the Guitarcade event go on sale now and run for $24 up to $304. Following matches were announced by the arena. It should not be noted that WWE has not confirmed these matches for the live event or the network special showcase match for the Universal title, which is now a blue title. SmackDown is a blue title. The title that went from Raw to SmackDown is now a SmackDown title. Universal title used to be on Raw, well now it's on SmackDown. And your SmackDown title is now your Raw title with Brock Lesnar holding it. For the matches, The Miz between the Fiend championship match, Texas Tornado match for the women's tag team titles, Charlotte Flair and women's champion women's champion Becky Lynch versus Asuka and Kairi Sane. Again, a rematch. U.S. title match, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles with AJ as champion. Revival versus New Day as champion. SmackDown title match. 1-on-2 handicap match, Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn and Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. So that's probably when Sami Zayn returns to action. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin. Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. Rusev versus Bobby Lashley with Lana in his corner. Appearances by the Street Profits. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Sasha Banks and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Aleister Black, Andrade, Julia Vega, plus more. That's what it says. More are advertised. Dania Beach, Florida, awarded former WWE star Gangrel key to the city. Which you can see at this link. Gangrel posted the news about receiving the key on his official Instagram. He wrote, "Thank you very much, City of Dania Beach, for the key to the city. I'm honored, blessed, and humbled by this prestigious honor. Thank you from myself and all of at GWA Florida for your continued support and guidance on this incredible journey." If you're not familiar with that, that's his training school, Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum. Paramount Animation and WWE Studios have moved the upcoming animated feature for Rumble back 6 more months. Thanks to Deadline that reported the movie was scheduled to be released July 31st, 2020. However, has been moved to January 29th, 2021 after Paramount pulled their Rugrats movie from the latter date and taking off their schedule completely. Rumble features Will Arnett, Terry Crews, and Geraldine Viswanathan as the lead voice cast. Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch will also be doing voicing characters in the film. They keep it wrestling. Liv Morgan has not been seen on WWE TV since suffering a defeat to Charlotte Flair on SmackDown on this past July. After the loss, Morgan stated, "Charlotte was right, and when I come back, I'm going to be real." Morgan, who was moved to Raw as part of the WWE draft last month, teased a new look on social media at this link. She posted the photo below at the link on her Twitter with the goth look, black lips. CM Punk starring in a horror film, Girl on Third Floor, which will be on DVD and Blu-ray on January 7th, 2020. Currently available for streaming. Punk will also be joining WWE Backstage as he did this week, making his debut on the event I think it was Wednesday night, Backstage. A synopsis on the Girl on the Third Floor. For married man, Don Coach, that's CM Punk's character, remodeling his new home gives him the chance to start anew while trying to overcome legal troubles and fidelity struggles. Once inside the fixer-upper, Don is helpless against the house's goo-dripping walls, sordid history, and inner demons, the latter hideous, exposing those of its new owner, utilizing the expertise acquired from producing several critically acclaimed indie horror films, including Starry Eyes and We Are Still Here. Travis Stevens makes his directorial debut with a slick and wildly entertaining haunted house movie that's truly like no other. And I've reported about this movie previously in previous week's videos. Last night, backstage, it was announced that Miz and Paige has both resigned multi-year deals. On Twitter, Miz commented on continuing his 15 plus years with the company. Breaking news dropped by at Ryan Satin on FS1. Hashtag WWE Backstage. I just signed a new multi-year deal with at WWE. And WWE has been my home for 15 years, and it'll continue to be for years to come. I promise to work harder than ever to continue to give you must-see TV. It will be awesome. The Rock took to Facebook to give the first look at his Black Adam character in the movie of the same name from DC Comics. Rock revealed earlier this fall that the production of the movie will begin in July. It is scheduled to be released on Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. A whole year to go. The movie will focus on the origin of Black Adam. Not Adam, H-E-A-O-M, Black Adam. And will feature other DC characters. Rock has also talked about how this is a movie role that is very important to him. One that he tried to land for a while. Rock will also serve as a producer for the movie, along with his $7 production company. Hero Garcia of $7 recently noted that the film will be gritty and violent. Jean Colette Serra will be the director. And here's his Facebook post of the movie, along with the photo. Sasha Banks debuted a new remix theme song on Friday SmackDown last week, featuring WrestleMania 32 vocals from cousin and celebrity WWE Hall of Famer Snoop Dogg. Banks also debuted a new way of doing her entrance. As hinted this link, WWE has released video of Banks rehearsing her new entrance at the WWE Performance Center 2 months before she debuted it on TV. This is a deleted scene from her recent WWE Chronicle episode. In the latest episode of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported that The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, will defend the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan in Survivor Series, which was announced on tonight's episode of The Acceptance, which will be made official soon. This comes after The Fiend attacked Bryan in a backstage segment on SmackDown last week. But I think Bryan still said no this week. Meltzer noted that Wyatt was originally scheduled for another match on the show. While it was not confirmed, it's believed that Wyatt would have been facing The Miz, and the angle was going to be filmed on the SmackDown after Crown Jewel several weeks ago, which was ultimately scrapped after most of the roster was stranded in Saudi Arabia due to mechanical issues on their flight. Nakamura was also scheduled to lose the Intercontinental Championship before Survivor Series and be replaced in the triple threat match with Strong and Styles. It's likely that Bryan would have been the one to defeat Nakamura for the title, since the two had recently started an angle. As of now, Nakamura still is about, with Bryan being moved to the match with Wyatt. Veteran WWE superstar, the Brian Kendrick, to Twitter today to announce that he is taking an indefinite leave of absence from the ring. It's been 3 years since my last hashtag Cruiserweight title opportunity. Since then, it's become evident that nobody at WWE 205 Live understands nor respects the road that I paid for them. Therefore, I am taking an indefinite leave of absence from the ring. At WWE, hashtag 205 Live, Kendrick wrote. There's no word yet on if this is part of the latest storyline for Kendrick on the 205 Live brand. But I'll keep you updated as you'll hear the results later on. As the Twitter states that the tweet was posted from Poipo, Hawaii, which would mean he is not backstage for 205 Live episode from Philadelphia. NXT superstar Boa took to Instagram to reveal that he underwent shoulder surgery on Thursday. Yesterday, the operation was done by Dr. Jeffrey Dugas at the Andrews Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center in Birmingham, Alabama. Boa noted that he tore his rotator cuff and labrum in a match 3 weeks ago. He wrote, "What did happen was 3 weeks ago, I torn my rotator cuff and labor him in the match. Yesterday's surgery went very well. I have big thanks to all nurses and surgeon, Dr. Dugas, Andrews _sports _medicine. The road to recovery is underway, and I will back to the ring soon, stronger than ever. Hashtag shoulder surgery. Hashtag boa constrictor. Hashtag WB NXT. Boa lost to Killian Dane on October 9th, NXT TV episode. It was announced in the NXT injury report that he suffered a possible rib fracture at the hands of Dane. He then faced Dane again the next week, and it was announced that Boa re-aggravated their rib injury, suffered a neck injury during that loss to Dane. Those appeared to be storyline injuries, as Boa last wrestled at the October 26th NXT Live event from Lakeland, Florida, and a loss to Damian Priest. He lost to Coda Reeves the night before in Dade City, Florida. SmackDown opens up with a video package looking at last week's episode from Manchester, England, as I did not find any dark match prior to SmackDown or afterwards, or after 205 Live. Cut to normal SmackDown intro video. Live from Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, power goes off inside the arena. Michael Cole welcomes us to Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. He's joined by at ringside by Corey Graves. We go to the ring. Out comes King Corbin. Corbin is being carried to the ring by 6 men as he sits on the throne and platform. His new gimmick. As they sit the structure down at ringside, as Corbin stands tall, raising his scepter, he enters the ring as Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler await for him, clapping. Music stops and the boos get louder. A "You Suck" chant breaks out from the crowd as Corbin starts talking and fans shut him up with boos. Corbin says they need to pay respects to their king. Corbin goes on about being king and starts taking shots at Roman Reigns, calling him a shell of what he once was. He goes on and says this is no longer Reigns' yard. It's Corbin's kingdom. Corbin then talks about how he should be team captain at Survivor Series and shows us a graphic on the big screen. Roode and Ziggler chime in now and talks about taking their rightful spots on Team SmackDown by defeating Shorty G and Mustafa Ali tonight. As they give him his full name back. We know that will be absolutely glorious. Corbin says he's inviting the big dog to the ring now for his historic moment. Corbin says if they're teammates, then they should all be able to coexist in the ring now. Corbin asks the crowd if they want to see the big dog, and they do. Roman Reigns' music hits and an animated chihuahua appears on the big screen, instead barking. Or more like yelping. A man comes out dressed as a mascot-type dog, softly punches the ground on the stage, imitating Reigns. A little dog on the LED board keeps yelping as the mascot dog marches to the ring. Corbin, Ziggler, and Roode laugh. Corbin asks if the dog knows any tricks. He has him take a knee and bow and shake. The animated dog continues to yelp on the big screen, and he has non-stop since first appearing. As Reigns' music plays, mascot dog sits on his knees as Corbin, Roode, and Ziggler play to the crowd for boos. Quick commercial. Shorty G and Mustafa Ali versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler is your first match of the night. Back to the ring, Mustafa Ali and Shorty G are out as Ziggler and Roode wait in the ring. Roode and Ziggler will win. G and Ali team SmackDown spots if they win this match, as it's confirmed. G and Roode go at the start. Roode takes G down, and King Corbin laughs at ringside. The dog mascot is watching with Corbin. G fights back, and takes Roode down for a pop. More back and forth. Ziggler comes back in and mounts offense on G for a 2 count. G blocks a neck breaker and an arm drag. Ziggler. Ali tags in and immediately drops Ziggler. Ali works on the arm and stops Ziggler from tagging. Ziggler kicks Ali in the gut. Ziggler keeps fighting, but Ali cuts him off. Ali ends up rocking Ziggler in the corner. Ali with a head scissors takedown. Ali goes over the face buster for a 2 count as Corbin watches, getting worried. Turns his back to the ring. Roode gets the tag. Goes right to work on Ali. Ziggler gets a cheap shot in on Ali from the floor as the referee is distracted. Roode takes Ali to the corner and beats him down again. Ali ends up getting knocked off the apron onto the announce table. Ribs first. Corbin and the mascot dog laugh about the interference from ringside. Reigns' music hits and out comes the real Roman. Corbin ready for a fight at ringside as Reigns marches right to him at the announce table. Corbin retreats as we go back to commercial. Back from the break, Reigns is cheering on G and Ali from ringside now. Corbin is on the other side of the ring. Ali looks to put Rude and Ziggler away, but Ziggler comes in and hits a famouser on Ali. Ziggler rocks G off the apron with a cheap shot and goes to pin Ali, but he kicks out at 2. Ziggler cranks up for a super kick now, but Ali jumps up and hits a super kick first. Pants pop for Ali, but they both go down. Rude and G get hot tags. G unloads a Rude, and then Ziggler when he runs in. G with a cannonball to Rude in the corner. G with a spinning neck breaker to Rude. He gets fired up, and Reigns looks on. G goes up top, hits a big moonsault on Rude for a 2 count. G shoves Rude in the corner, but Ziggler tags in. They hit the big zigzag double team for a close 2 count. Corbin shows frustration at the ringside. Ali looks to run in as he kicks Rude in the head from the apron, but Ziggler kicks him off the apron to the floor. G catches Ziggler in an ankle lock. Ziggler resists, but G gets it applied. Rude runs in and breaks the hold up. Corbin looks to assist Rude, but Reigns nails a drive-by on Corbin. Rude slams Reigns face first into the announce table. Ali flies out with a dive and sends Rude over the table. Reigns follows up with a big spear to Corbin at ringside. Ziggler takes advantage of the chaos and rolls G up for a 2 count. G ends up nailing a big German suplex as Ali follows up with a 450 from the top. Ali keeps the pin for the win. After the match, Ali and G stand tall and keep their Survivor Series spots. Got to replays. Reigns comes in to celebrate with them as the music hits. And now to hype the rest of tonight's show. We get a look back at last week's when WWE Universal Champion The Fiend Bray Wyatt attacked Daniel Bryan backstage. We go to another episode of Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt. He has the WWE new Universal title on display and says it's time for a change. Now remember, it was a red belt previously. Well, it's now a blue belt. Nothing more changed. He turns to Bray the magician now, and poof, the Universal title now has a blue strap instead of the red strap. Wyatt mentions Miz TV later tonight as we go back to commercial. As you said, we're both going to watch Bray himself and The Fiend. Back for the break, we see what just happened with the tag team match. King Corbin, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, and mascot Dog are backstage. Everyone is upset. Corbin has an idea to fix what happened. He walks off with the mascot. We're going to get a look at how Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury took out the B team last week. We go to the ring. Braun Strowman marches out as Drew Gulak and the B team wait together in the middle of the ring. Braun in his ring stares him down. He's by himself, but Gulak is with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. And he says they actually want to learn. Gulak goes on and shows us a graphic on the screen that says Gulak saves SmackDown. Gulak says Braun actually lasted longer with Tyson Fury than he thought. But Braun still has so many lessons to learn. The brawl breaks out. Strowman fights everyone off, all 3 of them. Gulak retreats as Strowman destroys Axel and Dallas. Strowman with a big running power slam on Axel. Strowman stands tall for a pop as his music hits now. Kayla Braxton is backstage with SmackDown Tag Team Champions The New Day. Kofi and Big E hype up tonight's title defense. Kofi with a platter of full pancakes says they won these titles in honor of the injured Xavier Woods. And they will defend him in honor of him tonight. We see Big E in The New Day. Grand introduction as their music hits and they head to the ring. SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Revival versus New Day. We're going to ring. SmackDown Tag Team Champions Big E and Kofi toss pancakes to the crowd. They enter the ring. Pose for the fans. We go back to commercial. And we get back from the break. Daniel Bryan's backstage walking. He's approached by Sami Zayn in WWE Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Sami talks about how they want Bryan with them. Sami says, it's $1 million question. Is he with them? Bryan's been thinking about this all week. He wants to know why Sami ran last week when the Fiend attacked. If he really had Bryan's back, Sami thought Bryan was running behind him. He goes on, but Bryan's interrupts and says he doesn't need Sami's help and isn't joining his group. Bryan says Braun Strowman is the perfect guy for Sami. He's Sami's guy, Brian walks off and says Braun is just big and strong. He's not intellectual like them. Braun suddenly appears and Sammy backs down, pleading with Strowman as Braun just stares at him. Sammy ends up retreating. We go back to the ring as a New Day is dancing around. Out next comes the Revival. Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Kofi and Dash go at it. The Revival with a quick tag. Early double team. Dawson works over Kofi and keeps him down for pin attempts. More back and forth between the two teams, but Revival keeps control. Big E also comes in at one point, but Dash keeps Kofi down as we go back to commercial. Kofi finally gets an opening on Dawson after a break. Big E gets a tag, hits several big suplexes, and throw to Dash. Big E runs the ropes for a splash, but Wilder gets his knees up. Dawson tags back in and goes to work on Big E, but Big E catches him with a Uranagi in the corner. More back and forth. Dawson blocks a big ending and span chant for the New Day. Chaos leads to Dash coming in, hitting a tornado DDT to Big E for a close 2 count. Wilder yells out, shows frustration over the count. He couldn't get the 3 count. Wilder powers up with a Big E on his shoulders. Big E avoids it, and they both collide in the middle of the ring with clotheslines. Both go down. Dawson and Kofi tag in at the same time. Kofi with a kick to the head and a drop kick. Kofi sends both opponents to the floor. They run the ropes and he leaves out, taking them down for a big pop from the crowd. Big E tags in and scoops Dawson for the midnight hour. Dash knocks Kofi off the top. Big E sends Dawson over the top to the floor. Dawson with a big DDT to Big E for a pin attempt. Dawson argues with the referee. Thought he had the 3 count again. Complaining about the 3 count. Revival goes for a double draping DDT, Orton style, and yell out to Randy Orton to pay homage. But Big E drops him over the top rope to the floor. Kofi runs and leaps out, but the Revival catches him in midair. They ram him face first into the ring post. Big E comes over to attack, but the Revival puts him into the announce table. Revival goes on, keeps control, and brings Big E into the ring for the Shatter Machine. Kofi runs in and flies, breaking up the pin just in time. All 4 superstars are down as fans chant for Kofi. Undisputed Era suddenly appears. NXT Champion Adam Cole, NXT North American Champion Ron Strong, NXT Tag Team Champion Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. Cole and Strong pull Kofi out of the ring and attack as the referee calls for the bell for disqualification. Winner of the match, New Day. After the bell, the attack continues as Fish and O'Reilly pull Dash out of the ring and beat him down too. All 4 members enter the ring and unload on Big E and Dawson now. A large group of SmackDown superstars run down, none other than other tag team factions, to make the save as the Undisputed Era retreats into the crowd. Undisputed Era taunts the Blue Brand superstars from the crowd as they look on from the ring. I don't know who Apollo Crews is tag teaming with, but he was there. As you had other members like Heath Slater and his tag team partner, other tag teams as well. Haven Machinery, no, they were in the next match. I think they were out as well. Back from the break, we see what just happened with the Undisputed Era. Haven Machinery versus Kevin Tibbs and Kip Stevens. Jobbers. We're going to ring for Haven Machinery is out. Tucker and Otis. We see how Tucker and Otis were taken up by Imperium last week, and has Metallica's Kip Stevens and Kevin Tibbs wait in the ring as Haven Machinery does their entrance. Otis starts off and gets the match going, taking control with ease. Tucker tags in and hit long vertical suplexes on their opponents at the same time. Tibbs fights Tucker off. Kip tags in for the double team, but Tucker hits a crossbody in the middle of the ring. Tucker with a huge clothesline next. Tucker with a big splash in the corner next. Tucker and Otis place to the crowd, and they tease the tag to Otis, who comes in with a caterpillar on Tibbs. Kip gets caught with a compactor next, and Otis covers for the pin. After the match, Tucker and Otis, that's all when the music hits. So to come, Daniel Bryan on Miz TV. And now to show us some of the recent attacks from between NXT and the main roster superstars in the women's division. Kayla Braxton backstage with Sasha Banks and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Because her recent attacks, Bayley says Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler no longer see her as just an afterthought. Bayley says it's been all personal from her lately, which is why she's on a roll. She fights for her and herself only now, and doesn't care about anyone else. She goes on with the heel talk and says she looks forward to crushing Nikki Cross's dreams tonight. Banks also has words for Cross and says she's letting Bayley go out there alone tonight and letting her take care of Cross by herself. And I think the stipulation is if Nikki Cross wins this non-title match, she's in the Team SmackDown match instead of Bayley. From going to the ring, out comes Nikki Cross. Cross will become the final member of Team SmackDown if Survivor Series if she wins this match. Back to commercial. Back to the ring, and we'll see highlights from this week's WrestleMania 36 tickets on sale party in Tampa, Florida. Coleslaw, Graves show us what happened earlier with Shorty G and Mustafa Ali. Keeping their Survivor Series spots, Coleslaw announces Roman Reigns, G and Ali versus King Corbin, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler in six-man action for next Friday night. Back to the ring as Cross is ready for a fight. Music hits out comes SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley for the non-title match. Bell rings and Bayley immediately charges. Bayley takes control and they go to the floor. Bayley sends Cross into steel ring steps. NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler comes to ringside, and Bayley jumps in the ring. Baszler then jumps in the ring, but Bayley retreats to the crowd. Tegan Knox, Rhea Ripley, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim suddenly appear behind Bayley in the crowd. She then gets dropped, and then Ripley slams her over the barrier back to the ringside floor. Baszler looks on from the ring, but Sasha Banks runs in out of nowhere and drops her. NXT Superstars stare Banks down from the ringside floor. They go to hit the ring on Banks. Here comes SmackDown Superstars, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Carmella, and Danny Brooke. Baszler and Bayley brawl out into the crowd while the others brawl in the ring. NXT Superstars retreat to the crowd as the Blue Brand Stars stand tall in the ring. Sasha takes the mic and says if they want the spotlight, she will give it to them. She proposes an 8-woman tag team match next. And it's on as we go to commercial with the two sides having words from the ring. Sasha, Dana, Carmella, and Nikki versus Rhea, Mia, Tegan, and Dakota. Back to the ring, Dakota Kai drops Nikki Cross to start as the bell hits. Now from NXT, Dakota Kai was not in the match on their team. Cross drops Kai with a crossbody and then unloads with strikes. Mia tags in, but Cross takes her down. Carmella and Yim go at it. Yim works on the arm, but Carmella fights out. Yim drops her. They both duck kicks, but Carmella connects with a kick to the gut. Tegan Knox gets knocked off the apron. Yim slams Carmella by her hair. Knox tags in and unloads on Carmella in the corner with kicks. The referee tells her to back off. Kai tags in and hits a big running forearm to Carmella in the corner. Kai and Knox with more double teaming in the corner on Carmella. Knox goes for a tag, but she's not legal. Kai runs back in and covers, but Carmella kicks out. Knox comes back in and works Carmella around, chucking her with a middle rope as the others talk trash in her face. Knox drops Carmella again for another 2 count. Carmella finally tags Sasha Banks in. She drops Knox and talks some trash. Knox counters and rolls Banks up for a 2 count. Banks comes back and kicks Knox into the corner. Rhea Ripley comes in slowly as fast pop. Banks takes a few steps back. They have words in the middle of the ring. Banks rocks her with a slap. Ripley swings but misses. Ripley goes on and powerbombs Banks. Then drops her with a big suplex. Ripley yells in Banks' face and stands tall over her. More back and forth between the two. Banks and Ripley both deliver cheap shots at the same time to the other partners. The two teams come in the ring and argue with each other as the tension builds. We go to commercial. Back to the ring. Ripley goes at it with Cross. Cross with a second rope crossbody. Cross knocks some of Ripley's partners off the apron. Kai tags in, but Cross catches her and slams her for a 2 count on Knox as Knox breaks it up. More chaos as Dana also gets involved. Brooks nails Ripley in the corner and tosses Yim to the floor. Ripley with a huge drop kick to Dana. Banks levels Ripley in the corner. Kai kicks Banks out of the ring. Cross comes off the top but misses Kai. Kai with a big scorpion kick to Cross to put her down. Cross blocks a suplex and drops Kai in the middle of the ring with her swinging neckbreaker. Cross covers Kai for the pin and the win. Winners of the match, Team SmackDown. After the match, NXT Superstars attack Kai until the others quickly make the save. A big brawl breaks out. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville run back down to the ring to help clear it out. SmackDown Superstars look on from the ring as NXT Superstars talk trash back, heading through the crowd. We see Daniel Bryan walking backstage, back to commercial, back from the break, and announces hype the Survivor Series card. We go to the ring for tonight's main event segment with Miz making his way out for another must-see edition of Miz TV. Miz takes the mic and welcomes everyone. Miz starts talking about how the Fiend Bray Wyatt brought the Universal title to SmackDown for another must-see edition of Miz TV. Miz takes the mic and welcomes everyone. Miz starts talking about how the Fiend Bray Wyatt showed the video of the Fiend attacking Daniel Bryan for last week. Miz says he's going to find out why. Miz goes on and introduces his guest, Bryan, and makes his way out. Cole shows us how the Fiend attacked Bryan from last week. Miz asks Bryan why he thinks the Fiend attacked him. Bryan doesn't answer. Miz acknowledges they don't like each other, but it's a simple question. Why out of everyone in the locker room did the Fiend choose Bryan? Bryan won't answer. Miz says he thinks the attack happened because the Fiend sees Bryan isn't who he used to be. How he's confused about who he is these days. Miz goes on ranting and says the Fiend sees how Bryan is all washed up now and wants to be the one to end Bryan. Bryan stands up and takes the mic. Bryan says he will talk about Bray in just a second. But the reason he was quiet is because Miz TV sucks. And he always sucked. Fans are booing that. Bryan says Miz is right. He's not the man he was, and he's not the leader of the Yes movement. He might be washed up and mentally unstable, but there's no one thing that's the same as before. Passion. The passion that helped him overcome the odds at WrestleMania. Bryan goes on, but Miz interrupts. Bryan screams at him to shut up. Bryan says no one understands the passion and the mental instability together, which caused him to kill the Yes movement. Kick a man in the balls to win the WWE title. No one understands passion and that kind of instability together, but Wyatt does. Bryan goes on about how mentally unstable Fiend is, and says so was he. And there is no one better to fight someone mentally unstable than music interrupts, and Wyatt appears on the big screen for another Firefly Funhouse segment. Wyatt tells Bryan it's rude to discuss a man when he's not present. Wyatt taunts Bryan and goes on about possibly why the Fiend attacked. Maybe the Fiend just wants to play with Bryan. Wyatt pulls various toys out of the chest and then brings out his favorite WWE Universal title. A new one in blue brand fashion. Wyatt asks Bryan if he wants to come play, and if he does, just say the one magical word. Fan chat yes, but Bryan says no. Wyatt's various puppets also say yes, but Bryan keeps saying no. No, Bryan is not going to go back and play with Wyatt and his puppets. Bryan says Wyatt is trying to manipulate he and the people, but it won't work. Bryan says if Wyatt wants to fight, let's fight, but let's do it for the Universal title. Bryan asks Wyatt what he says now. Wyatt guesses he would have to say yes. Wyatt starts his own yes chant, and the crowd picks up on it as well. Wyatt keeps chanting and laughing as Bryan looks on. Wyatt goes on and on and on and on. As Funhouse music hits, Wyatt goes off the big screen. Miz says, there we have it. Bryan versus Wyatt at Survivor Series. Bryan exits the ring as the music plays and SmackDown goes off the air. 205 Live, sorry top commentators, new commentator John Quasto and Agin English welcome us to a brand new episode of 205 Live. First match of the night is announced. Angel Garza versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Garza begins with a roll-up. Gallagher kicks out at one. Garza twists Gallagher into a submission. Gallagher reverses the hold. Garza rolls out of it. Garza plants Gallagher face first. As Gallagher was attempting a head scissors, Garza follows it up with a basement drop kick. Gallagher flies high in the air and gets kicked in the midsection. The match is all Garza at this point. Garza puts Gallagher in another submission. Gallagher fights back with a few forearm exchanges and a double arm hook. It goes for the cover, and Garza kicks out at 2. Gallagher with a gentleman's headbutt. Gallagher goes for the gentleman's drop kick. Garza moves out of the way. Garza rolls up Gallagher for the 3 count. Up next, we got Samir Singh putting on the 24/7 championship on the line. Well, it looks like you got 2-on-1. Samir and Sunil versus Chim Ganji. Before the match, Singh brothers break out in song. Fans boo them. Sunil announces that this will be a handicap match because they both have the title. The Singh brothers push Ganji into the corner and start attacking him with kicks. Samir with a drop kick. Ganji gets up and fights back. But Samir comes through with several right hand exchanges and a super kick. Singh brothers land the Bollywood blast. They cover Ganji and retain the 24/7 championship. After the second match, the exclusive interview with Rush after his NXT Cruiserweight Championship defense against Garza on NXT this past Wednesday was shown. He threatens Garza that if he ever tries to touch his wife again, he'll rearrange his face. Now your main event. Leo Rush and Raul Mendoza versus Tony Nese and Ari DeVere. Nese and DeVere clear the ring by sending both Rush and Mendoza to the outside. Rush comes back in as well as Mendoza as they both fly out of the ring with the suicide dive and over the top rope flip. Back inside the ring, Rush is tagged in by Mendoza. They work as a unit with a double stomp on DeVere's arm. Rush goes for the cover. DeVere kicks out at 2. Rush puts DeVere in a side headlock. DeVere gets back up and breaks the hole with several midsection hits. DeVere with a vicious elbow on Rush. Nese gets tagged in. Nese overpowers Rush and sends him to the outside. Rush back in the ring and tags in Mendoza. Mendoza goes for a crossbody, then a drop kick on Nese. After he climbs to the top rope and lands a moonsault, he goes for the cover, but Nese kicks out at 2. Nese and DeVere work together for a double suplex on Mendoza. Nese takes Rush off the apron. Nese then focuses his attention on Mendoza and lands a powerful chest chop. Nese tags in DeVere. DeVere also lands a chop. Mendoza rolls over and tags in Rush. Rush is charged up. He climbs to the top rope and gets caught in an overhead suplex by DeVere. DeVere tags in Nese. Nese and DeVere join forces with double super kick. Mendoza gets back in the ring and all 4 men square off. Rush with a come up connect. Mendoza tagged in. DeVere sends Rush into the barricade on the outside. Nese off the top rope goes for the 450 smash, and Mendoza moves out of the way. Rush runs up the apron. Mendoza tags in. Rush climbs up to the top rope and lands the final hour on Nese. He goes for the cover, picks up the win for his team. That concludes this week's episode. Thanks for watching. And also concludes my episode of your SmackDown and 205 Live. See you on the video. If you don't know what you call me, brothers and sisters. Ooh yeah, dig it. Again, my tribute to Macho Man.